Well, he's known as Fearless Felix to his many fans around the world, and now Daredevil Felix Baumgartner is taking his amazing stunts to a new level, literally. Felix is gearing up for the most dangerous dive of his career. It was from this breathtaking view atop the Christ the Redeemer statue in Rio de Janeiro that Felix Baumgartner pulled off one of his most dangerous stunts.
Okay, guys, see ya.
The 98-foot plunge, the shortest drop in base jump history, left him only seconds to deploy his parachute. But that's just one in a career that includes more than 2,000 mesmerizing moments. He was the first person to jump off the Petronas Towers in Malaysia, the tallest twin buildings in the world at nearly 1,500 feet. In 2003, Baumgartner rocketed 22 miles across the English Channel using a set of specially designed carbon wings. This summer, Fearless Felix will attempt something no one on Earth has ever done. He'll fly 120,000 feet above the Earth's surface in a helium balloon and parachute down. Baumgartner will plummet at a rate of 690 miles per hour, making him the first human to break the sound barrier without using an airplane. The record for a jump of this kind belongs to Joe Kinninger, who jumped from 102,000 feet in 1960. Felix Baumgartner and Joe Kinninger, good morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
Felix, let me begin with you. Are you nuts? Why are you doing this?
Well, I'm a very competitive person. I like to challenge myself, and I think there's nothing more challenging than working on Red Bull thrustles. Are
you the least bit scared?
Well, I'm scared because that place where I'm going to is a very hostile place, and if you are not confident 100% in yourself, and if you don't trust your team, you have no business up there.
All right, Joe, let me turn to you because you set the record in 1960. What was that experience like?
Well, it was exciting. We were there to gather information, just like the Red Bull Stratus program. They're there to gather information. We were there to get scientific information, to advance the state of the art. And Felix's pressure suit that he's using is an advancement of state of the art. So we both had the same objectives, and that was to gather information we needed for the future.
What information did you gather in 1960 that is useful today?
Well, what we gathered was the design of the spacecraft. We helped NASA design the Mercury capsule. We also worked on the new escape systems. And they're still using what we used 50 years ago. They're still using it today. So we contributed, like what Felix will do in the Red Bull Stratus program. They're going to contribute also to the future because he's using the next generation full pressure suit.
Now, you were in the Air Force then when you did it.
Yes, I was.
So it was part of the job?
It was part of a challenge.
Part of the challenge?
Yes.
And okay, you were free falling for how long until you deployed your parachute?
4 minutes and 36 seconds.
I can't even imagine what that feels like.
Well, it's going to be 5 minutes and 30 seconds for Felix, so.
What did that for? I mean, after 20 seconds, it must feel like an eternity. Can you describe what it felt like for you?
You're very busy. You're there to gather information. You're there to tell how your pressure suit's working, what's happening. You're extremely busy the whole time. You never can relax and look around and say, this is a nice trip. You're very, very busy. And Felix will be busy too. He'll be skydiving. He'll be talking into his recorder, telling what's going on. So he'll be very busy also. It's a very busy, busy time.
Now, Felix, I understand Joe has been training you for this. How do you go about training for such a jump?
Well, we spent a lot of time in a pressure chamber at Beale Air Force Base trying to get used to that suit because what we call this is a next generation pressure suit. So you're going to be pressurized with 3.5 psi, which makes it not easy to move. You have a lack of mobility. You can't move your head around. So you have to get used to that suit. The next thing that we're going to do is a couple of test jumps from 25,000 feet off an airplane.
Well, 25,000 feet versus 120,000 feet. That's
a lot.
It's a huge difference.
It is, but you have to get used to that suit first to make sure you reach your handles and all these things. And as soon as you're getting used to the suit, we're going up to 65,000 feet to a test jump there. Then we're going up to 90,000 feet, and if you're happy with the result, we're ready for the big one.
Now, I know that you haven't announced yet when the jump is going to be, where it's going to happen from. Why not?
Well, I think there's a lot of testing which is still involved. We have to overcome a lot of hurdles, and as soon as this is done, we know exactly when we're ready for the big one.
Do you know when we can expect that announcement? I mean, you want the press coverage, you know?
Well, it's definitely somewhere in New Mexico this year.
Okay. Well, gentlemen, I wish you the best of luck. You are a very brave and somewhat crazy young man. Felix Baumgartner, Joe Kittinger, best of luck to both of you. Thank you so much.
A lot happens early on The Early Show, weekday mornings on CBS.